Hi guys, today's video is going to be on the Mcfarlane Batman DC 1 million 7-inch scale action figure. The retail price is $24.99 and I did purchase this with my own money. This figure is based on the Detective Comics 1 million Batman comic, and this version of Batman is like way far into the future, separate from the Bruce Wayne line of Batmans. From what I can tell from, the pictures that I've seen online of the comic book, this one does appear to be accurate. This is the front of the box. It says Batman 1 million down there at the bottom. The side says Batman 1 million. Here is the barcode for anybody that needs it. And the other side also says Batman 1 million, DC 1 million. And this is the back of the box. All right, let's go ahead and open this one up. Okay, this is what he looks like. I am glad that he only has the 2 plastic ties and I don't have a billion, ties to cut off. So I like it much better like this. I only have 2 of the plastic ties to cut off. And then there's the back. Okay, so starting off with his accessories, we do have the standard black Mcfarlane stand that we get with all of the characters. Then we have his character card, which is the same image that is on the back, with his data file on the back of the card. Then we do get 2 silver batarangs. They're kind of a matte silver color. There's the front and back. Okay, moving on to the figure. I do want to mention that everything that we get in this release, we don't get much. We don't even get an extra, like pair of fists or anything. And the old price at $19.99, I mean, this would have ran $19.99 at the old price tag. Now they're $24. This was $24.99. So you're looking at a 25% increase, and yet we don't really get any extras with him, not even extra hands. So that's kind of disappointing. Okay, so as you can see, we have his head totally covered on this Batman. And we have also seen this kind of head sculpt on the Speeding Bullets Batman, which I do have here. If any of y'all were wondering how close that they may look, they're not really similar. So even though these are both blue and totally covered, this is a different head sculpt. We also have seen his face totally covered in the Batman Superman fusion figure here. So this one does have long ears like this figure, but and the white eyes, but then after that it is not the same head sculpt at all. But I did want to show you guys, the fully covered face has been done before. While they do look similar, they are different. So on this one, he does have the longer ears. He does have white eyes, and it looks like he has like they're lined in a black liner on this one. His body mold, we have seen this body mold over a dozen times at this point. This is the same body mold as the Hush Batman, which a lot of you guys do have. The only difference is that On this one, the head and neck are 2 pieces instead of 1. So yeah, his shoulder pieces right here, they do have like some movement to them. I'll show you guys. They just kind of like float over his shoulders. They're not like, it's not attached right there. It's just floating over it. And then he does have a gold like bat head, like looking, it looks like maybe it's a clasp to his cape right here. He does not have the bat symbol on his chest, so it is a very plain looking chest. He does not have the typical gauntlets like we normally would see on Batman. No spikes or anything. It's a very clean look. Actually, his whole suit is very simple and clean looking. His belt is molded on top of the diaper, and I think that is a paint defect right there. But the belt looks nice. It's a big chunky belt, and it does wrap around. The design goes all the way around the figure. His boots are also kind of plain and basic looking. There's no like extra design on them either. He does have a soft goods wired cape here. And I'll go ahead and fan it out here so you guys can see how big it is compared to the figure. The wire in this cape feels like it's on the heavier side, like a heavier gauge wire. It doesn't bend that easily. You have to put some pressure on it, so that's good. You don't have to stress out about it snapping on you easily. The cape is, again, that shiny, cheap material that does tend to snag, and it can get runs in it if you catch it on anything. Also down here on the raw edge, you have to keep an eye out on that because it can fray on the raw edges. Up here, there seems to be an attempt to pleat it a little bit up here, and it does have ironed in creases in the cape to give it some, extra pizzazz to it. Overall, I think that this Batman, again, is very simple looking. Not a lot of bells and whistles, not a lot of decoration on this one that we would typically see in our other Batman figures. So I do know that some collectors may not like this version. It might be too plain looking. I'm okay with this version. Even though he is plain, I mean, I don't really have any complaints. He does have typical Mcfarlane articulation, so we'll go ahead and do that. So his head can go down that far. His head can go back that far. It can turn around 360, although mine's pretty stiff. You see how it doesn't want to go fully around. It keeps wanting to go back to the side. That's weird. So mine just kind of like pops back into place if I turn it to the side. For his arms, we can move his cape out of the way a little bit, and because these float on top of his shoulders, he is able to get the 360 arm movement. You just be mindful of the cape back there. His arms do go up this far, so he can do a T-pose. He can do 360 on the upper torso, 360 on the bottom torso. His diaper does pinch a bit down here around the legs. He can do the splits. Again, more pinching there. He can go this far with his legs. He can go this far back with his leg, but it does leave a pretty good sized gap there. He can lean back this far. There is a little bit of a gap there when he leans back. He does have double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. His ankles can go side to side, front to back, and he does have toe articulation. So yeah, all in all, I do really like this release, especially the head sculpt. I am a fan of the totally covered heads on the Batmans. I'm happy that I do have him in my collection, and I hope he's going to make a Catwoman too. So fingers crossed on that. What do you guys think about this release? Are you guys going to pick this one up? Let me know in the comments. That's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.